guess what I'm not recording on today? I found my camera! Hey friends, my name is Gabrielle. Welcome to FrumiousReads. I have a wrap-up video for you guys today. I'm wrapping up the past 3 weeks, and that's a lot of books, so we're just gonna go ahead and go through them. Across the Universe by Beth Revis, Unwind by Neil Shusterman, The Murder Room by P.D. James, Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister by Gregory Maguire, Under Major Domo Minor by Patrick DeWitt, The Princess Bride by William Goldman, No Country for Old Men by Cormac McCarthy, Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, The Tortilla Curtain by T.C. Boyle, Fine Art of Fucking Up by Kate DeCherry, 6 Degrees Game of Blogs by blogadda.com, which is a collection of stories that was contributed to by a bunch of different authors online, and they had a competition and 3 stories were picked by each team of authors. So it's actually really cool. I'll be talking about it in just a second. Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen, The Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by J.K. Rowling, Mutation by Nerys Wheatley, Alice in Wonderland and a collection of other stories by Lewis Carroll. And then I also listened to a lot of audiobooks this week because my new job involves a lot of driving around. So, The Foundation Trilogy by Isaac Asimov, which was interesting. I was kind of confused the whole time. I feel like I need to actually read this book. Moby Dick by Herman Melville, The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett, The Canterville Ghost by Oscar Wilde, On the Decay of the Art of Living by Mark Twain, and finally Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. Okay, so obviously we have a lot of books to talk about. The one that I will tell you I am not going to talk about right now is going to be Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I already did a review on this, so if you guys want to know my opinion of this book, go ahead and check out those videos, which will be linked in the annotations and in the description below. The best book I read this week should be no surprise to any of you, and that would be Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. I don't know if it's just because I love Neil Gaiman's work so much, or if it was the fact that I listened to the audiobook version of this and the actors playing the characters were amazing, but this book has replaced The Ocean at the End of the Lane as my new favorite book. Neverwhere is about a man who finds himself fallen between the cracks of London to land of London above, which is the normal city of London, to land in London below. Now, London below is where people who are forgotten by society and have gotten lost in the sewers kind of end up, and once you're down in London below, you cannot travel back to London above. After helping a woman who he finds stranded on the streets in London named Dor, he ends up following her down into London below and getting stuck there. So in order to get back to London above, he has to help her find out who murdered her family and why. As is with all Neil Gaiman books, this book has a lot of darkness in it. It has a lot of twists and turns and general humor, and I have to say that I'm really glad I listened to the audiobook version of this because it gave me a whole different experience than I feel like I would have gotten reading the book itself. The okay book that I read this week would be 6 Degrees which was published by blogadda. It was part of this thing where they were celebrating blogging, and so the objective was to write a fictional story based on descriptions of characters, and a bunch of different bloggers were put onto teams and had to create a story that involved these characters, had a plot line, and then submit it to blogadda to be published as part of this book. There are 3 stories in this book. There is The Awakening, Entangled Lives, and Missing: A Journey Within. My favorite story out of those 3 was the second one, Entangled Lives. I thought it was really well done. I really liked the characters and just the spin on it. This was my okay book because there were definitely times where you could tell that there was a perspective shift in the writing, that some authors wrote differently from another, so that caused a little bit of a disruption of flow. But overall, I thought this book was just really cool because it was published by bloggers, just a new way to kind of have this giant collaboration and bring writers together. So overall, I thought it was good. The only thing was that generally, it's hard to have a multi-person collaboration like this and then still have a solid flow of story. So my only thing was every once in a while you'd get to a certain part and be like, oh yeah, I can tell that the writing and the author has changed here. And then the last book that I'm going to talk about today, the next book is going to be The Fine Art of Fucking Up by Kate DeCherry. Now this is about a visual art administrator Nina Lanning, who is just kind of in the middle ground of her life. Like, not only is she realizing that her marriage is kind of starting to fail, but also she has been lacking artistic inspiration. She's stuck in a prank war with one of the other professors that she did not ask to be part of, but somehow has ended up on the receiving end anyway. And to top it all off, there is a once-in-a-century flood coming that is going to destroy the entire art building, including a very famous Jackson Pollock painting that they have located in the building that she is trying to save. So generally this book, it was just really fun. Like, I think you can tell by the title that it is going to be a very fun book. Overall, I love Nina's character. She just is very real. She is kind of like, almost has this desperate edge to her character that is just really fun to read. So many ridiculous things happen in this book that you do not expect at all. And if it had happened in any kind of other plot, it would have seemed too ridiculous. But with this, with just finding out about Nina and the amazing people that she works with, and just all of their eccentricities and differences and just general hilarity, it totally works. So that concludes my wrap up for these past few weeks. The next wrap up that you guys will see will be from the Pokemon Read-Them-All-a-thon. If you guys want to learn more about it, then make sure you stick around because I talk about it in my last video and that will be playing right after this. If you guys haven't subscribed to my channel already, make sure you do so because I upload bookish videos twice a week. But that's all I have for you guys today, so thank you so much for watching and I will talk to you guys later. Okay, bye. What does one Geodude say to another Geodude? Let's rock.